The theme for tonight is love and unity. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit how it's affecting us all over the planet right now, and how we can contribute to making the world, a more loving and unified place, all of us. And it starts within each of us. So that's really the inspiration behind tonight. And I just noticed how I was contributing as well to division without realizing it. And pretty much everyone around me, how we're all contributing to it. And not every person, of course not, but it's like us versus them, this kind of energy. And it doesn't have to be that way. And actually, I think that doesn't really solve problems at the end of the day either. One of the things that I wanted to share is I think some of you have been to my Ascended Masters masterclass that I did several months ago. And I taught about the different Ascended Masters like Mother Mary, and I taught about Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and Goddess Isis. I remember several of you were there for that. And one of the beings that I connect with the most for this energy of love and unity is Yeshua, is Christ. That's really what he came to this earth to bring forward, is a lot of this energy of love and unity. And so he might come forward in the meditation tonight, and you can always opt in or out, however feels good for you as we're flowing with it. But he really does emanate that beautiful golden loving light. And so a few of the things that I wanted to mention before we dive in deeper into the session is around these times. There's so much happening in the world. There's a lot being shaken up. There's all kinds of power struggles, a new war that has broken out. There are wars that were happening before that as well. There's vaccines, there's mandates, there's you're not doing enough, you're doing this wrong, so much judgment I've noticed. And it comes from all angles. And a lot of us are putting each other in categories. And I've heard people say they've lost friendships and relationships and family members because they don't agree with their same political views, for example, around COVID, and I'm sure you've all heard stories like this or experienced something and, felt this energy of oh, that person believes this, so there's something wrong with them for believing that, or, whether it's conscious or subconscious, a lot of these thoughts cross through our minds and we feel them and they're present. And so I think tonight is around really getting clearer on what's present for us around this. How are we contributing in, positive or negative ways to division and unity? Or the opposite of that would be fear and division. So I equate love and fear. Those are two on the same spectrum. And then unity and division on a spectrum. So, and I'm curious for you to type in the comments, what would feel better in your body if you just tune in? It's accepting others for how they are, loving them, and feeling united with others and feeling community and connection. Or would it feel better to other people? Have you ever heard that term? I remember I learned in university, it's capital O, to other somebody. It's you're different than me. You're the other. And so it's othering people, blaming them, pointing fingers. You're wrong, hate and division. So what feels better in your body? You can just tune into that right now. You can type in the comments what comes up for you. One of the other things that I wanted to mention too is there's no one truth. The truth is socially constructed, and it's also our own belief of what the truth is, because we can all have different world experiences, life experiences, and something can be so friggin' true for us, 100% true, no, this is what it is. But then to someone else, because they've had different experiences and seen the world in a different way, that can be completely the furthest thing from the truth. And so that's why it really comes back to being in your own truth, and you don't need to care or worry so much about what other people's truths are. And there's something I want to bring forward afterwards, which is how we can, move through the world when we have different views and how we can make impact and change. I'll bring that up in a moment. But the truth is constantly changing. We've seen that in the media. We've seen that in the news. this is right. No, now this is right. Now this is right. And so at the end of the day, we have to always tune into our own intuition. This is something I really am so strong about and really encourage each of you to do all the time is tune into what feels true for you. Your body will always tell you. Your heart will always know at the end of the day. So that's the most important thing. And you are constantly changing as a being. Your views might change, and that's okay. I heard someone say recently, and I'm sorry, I can't quite remember who it was. They said things only hold the meaning that you've assigned to them. So things only hold the meaning that you have assigned to them. And again, like I was just sharing, like we all have different world experiences and upbringing, ancestry. We all have different past lives, and we assign meaning to certain things. And then sometimes we might shift that. We might say, "Oh, this doesn't serve me," and then we actually tune into it and say, "Oh, I thought it didn't serve me because it triggered something in me. It made me emotional or whatever." But actually, it does serve. We might change our minds, and that's okay. So I love this quote. I've been obsessed with this musician, the one who I was playing at the beginning of our session. His name is Misty Techie. He's a medicine song singer, and so so many of the words that he sings in his songs, they're all about love and about unity. He says, "And I pray for your help today to be in right relation with everything, every single living being. And I pray for your help today." And I'm going to read that one more time. This is from a song. "And I pray for your help today to be in right relation with everything, every single living being. And I pray for your help today." So if you just place your hands on your heart for a moment, I would love for you to tune in and just feel, what does that mean to you to be in right relation with everything? Tune in and see what comes up for you. What does it mean to be in right relation with everything? When you're ready, you can come back to the space, open your eyes again. There's a few things that I want to mention, and then we're going to go into a guided meditation I'm going to channel for you. As you're talking and it's reminding me, it's been such an interesting journey for me in the work that I do and having my community and my mailing list and my group online to be able to speak my truth and what feels true for me, and sometimes to receive negative feedback. I received a really mean email from somebody maybe a month ago or less when I shared about healing through COVID holistically, and sharing that we can heal, with our emotions a lot of times. And I received a really nasty email, and I'm like, oh, and then it becomes really interesting to see, like, okay, what feels right to share, and to keep living our truth. And I think during these times, it is important, if we feel called to speak our truth and to share our truth, to do that, because we've come here for a reason, and we've all come here to be authentic as ourselves. And like, I'm saying this as a reminder to me too, because there are moments where I'm like, I don't really want to share this because, of what the reaction could be. But then I also know that there are so many people who need to hear those messages. And so it's been such an interesting journey. On a separate note, I wanted to share that what we can focus on expands. So, for example, in this case, I was just sharing, if I focus on the fear of being judged by other people, and this can apply to all of you in your lives, if I focus on that fear, I'm going to attract more probably nasty comments and nasty things. Whereas if I focus on, I'm doing this from a place of love to speak my truth and to share it with who needs it, that's what is going to be received a lot more. And this is true for pretty much everything in your life. What you focus on expands. And so if we can focus on love and acceptance and unity and authenticity and empowerment and trusting in ourselves, if we can do those things and focus on them more, it's going to bring more of that goodness and juiciness and abundance into our lives. I would like us, as we move into this meditation, one of the questions that I would like maybe for you to explore is, how can you help? How can you be of service at this time? And this came to me about like a few weeks ago when I saw a video at Parliament Hill in Ottawa. I'm Canadian, and I saw horses trampling over people, police horses, and I got really upset. I felt really angry. And I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she said, I totally understand, and it's okay to feel angry. And what can you do? How can you make impact? How can you share your gifts? And so that's kind of what I want to bring forward to each of you tonight. Because yes, it is important to feel our feelings. When we feel angry, feel them. Feel that. Like feel the anger, feel the sadness, the grief, whatever is present. Allow yourself to fully feel it and move through that, not to stay stuck in it, and to keep coming back to how can I serve? How can I share my gifts? How can I be the light? How can I bring in more love and unity into the world? Okay, so I invite you to close your eyes and get settled for the meditation. Start to take some nice deep breaths into your body. And feel yourself beginning to slow down. And with each inhale, breathing in through your nose and allowing the inhales to extend a little bit longer. And the exhales to go just a little bit longer as well. With each in-breath, allow yourself to spread your breath throughout your body. Maybe noticing where you're feeling any stuckness, tightness, or tension. Breathe into those areas. And with each inhale, can you breathe in sweetness into those spots in your body? And just notice, what does sweetness mean to you? Maybe it's a certain color of light, like soft pink or soft yellow. Maybe sweetness looks like sparkles. Perhaps it feels like honey. What does sweetness look like or feel like for you? Breathe that into your body now. And just taking a moment to bring your attention into your root chakra, the base of your spine. Feeling that space open and expand as light swirls around in that area, a deep red light. And begin to send down red light in the form of a tunnel, a beautiful red lit tunnel going down through the earth, and extending down through all the layers of the earth until you can plug this light into the core of the earth. And the earth whispers to you right now, thank you for being here. Thank you, my child, for your presence on this earth. You are so wanted. You are so needed here, right now, at this time. And she says, I love you. Mm. Maybe you can receive that love in your heart space right now, breathing up the love from the earth into your heart. Hmm. And I want to invite you now to join me as we are going to ascend up into the sky. So feeling your angel wings activating on your back, maybe witnessing them flapping back and forth, fluttering in the breeze. Just notice what color your wings are and how big they are. They are here as a reminder, these wings, of your divinity and of your infinity or infiniteness, because you, my dear, are infinite. And so you can begin to make your way upwards towards the sky, towards whatever feels like heaven to you. This is not tied to any religion. It's your heaven. And so flying upwards until you reach this realm, landing in your heaven. Just taking a look around or feel around to notice what's around you. Maybe you perceive colors or there's a certain sensation that's here for you. And more than anything, I want you to tune into the peace that is here. And feel yourself become softer and softer as you're here in the heavens. And you begin to perceive a golden light that is moving towards you in all directions now, surrounding you 360 degrees. And if you choose, you can allow this light to clear out any parts of you that live in fear, division, judgment, hate. You can allow this light and ask this light to please cleanse and purify you now. Whatever is ready to be released for your highest good and the highest good of humanity. And as you do this, just open to receive this golden light, this pure golden light. And notice in your body where you might be carrying these energies. I'm sensing a lot in the solar plexus right now for the group, the upper stomach, Perhaps you feel it there. So just breathing into your body where you feel it the most, bringing love to those areas, because love always wins. And continue to open to receive, continue to allow the clearing to take place. Feel your body softening. If you'd like, you can say out loud, I release all judgments of others. I release all judgments of myself. I choose to share my light. I choose love. I choose compassion. I choose acceptance. I choose unity. Take a nice deep breath in to your body, anchoring all of that in. It's very empowering when we make choices like this. And I want you to feel that throughout your whole body. And breathing into the solar plexus once again, the upper stomach, this chakra that has to do with self-love, self-empowerment, self-worth. It also has to do with judgment, our egos, lots of fears that can come up for us around being ourselves, being accepted. And here's the thing, the more we can love and accept ourselves, the more we can love and accept others, even if they're different. Breathing in deeply. And if you'd like, you can take a nice deep sigh on your exhale, letting go. Ah. Do that twice more together, breathing in deeply. Ah. And one more time, letting out sound on the exhale. Ah. And now, as you stand here in the heavens, in your heaven, I want to invite you to welcome a being here to meet you. I will mostly be focusing with Yeshua, but that's Jesus, or you can call in another being, angels, ascended masters, beings of light, your spirit guide, whatever feels good for you. Call in one of those beings to be here with you right now. And really feel their presence with you. Just notice what it feels like to be in their presence. What does that feel like in your body? and they reach out your hands for you. They reach out their hands to you right now. And so just holding their hand, just feel as they're beaming this beautiful love right into your eyes, looking at you with the most loving eyes. Can you open your heart a little bit more to receive this loving gaze? Just noticing what it feels like in your heart right now in this moment. And see if you can soften a little bit more to receive. You deserve this love. Mm. And so, with this being here in front of you, I want you to ask them and ask yourself the question, how can you help right now in the world? How can you help anchor in more love and unity? How can you be of service? If nothing is coming to you, ask again, how can I be of service? How can I help? Maybe it's something super simple and it's perfect, whatever comes to you. And I want you to place your hands on your heart now and make a commitment to yourself that you are going to take inspired action with whatever has come forward for you. And just take note of what that looks like. What does your inspired action look like? Maybe it's a one time thing, or maybe it's something you're going to do every day. And so just taking a moment to give thanks to this beautiful being who is here with you in these heavens. And knowing that this is a place you can come back to anytime you want. The sacred space just for you. And tuning into your angel wings once again. Feeling them begin to flap and flutter as you start to make your way back down to the earth once again. Bringing heaven with you onto earth. Knowing that these two can always go together. Heaven and earth. So feeling yourself land back into your physical body. Taking some nice deep breaths into your body. And starting to move, stretch, wiggle, however feels good for you. And you can come back to this space when you're ready, opening your eyes. Something that's very important is like, I'm certain that many of you are highly sensitive, empathic beings that are here tonight. And, there is a lot of chaos happening in the world. There's a lot of, like the storm, like Alyssa was just saying, this energy. And like a lot of this shadow and darkness is coming up to the surface, and it's easy to get stuck in that. And self care during these times is extremely important. Like, can you step away? Can you find peace? How can you find more peace in your life? For me, it's like going to the river. I live in the mountains right now in Costa Rica, and it's really interesting. It's a very simple life in a lot of ways. Like, it's a dirt road where I live, and I have to walk like 25 minutes to get to the closest like restaurant, or like catch the bus, for example, which I never do. But anyways, the point is, it's very, very simple, and it's just nature and hanging out with friends and being by the river, and that's how I find peace. And some people would say, "Oh well, uh, you're you're not like in society that much." And it's like, well, why do we have to be? Think about, like, this is something that I tuned into, is like, for thousands of years, people didn't listen to the news on television every single day. People didn't listen to, like, go and scroll on social media and Instagram and get all of this information all the time and get trapped in. It's like, especially when you're sensitive, it's really important to be mindful of what energy you're surrounding yourself with, and not to like push away everything and like push away all this stuff that's happening per se, but it's also to be mindful of what you are surrounding yourself with and taking good care of yourself in that way. I think it's really important, because then you can show up from this place of love and empowerment as much as possible.